I want to say what's good, people. I want to welcome you guys to this new channel and this very creative perspective of mine that I wish to submit to not just my peers, but as an interactive audiobook, not just written by the author, but by the current events taking place within this measurement we call time. Think of this experiment as a avid reader walking down an aisle of virtually infinite titles, books of very different genres and perspectives. This is one of many approaches I will take with this channel, as it is a journal, an autobiography, in some cases a comic book. It could be a myriad of things. However, it will openly as well as brutally address the very topics at hand and some concerns about this movement towards forward progression and solutions, mainly addressed to my fellow melanated brothers. It is not limited to all, but there will be certain topics that will demand the attention of its targeted audience, which is the most downtrodden, the most embittered and broken, which happens to be those of black male masculinity and those all things pertaining. The author of this said book or experiment is an admitted perfectionist. As I will admit, I have created at least 142 renditions of this introduction. The need to admit this is to admit to not just my peers, both present, future, and some in my past. It's an admission to myself that it is a blessing and a benefit to be perfectly flawed. It is the opportunity to free yourself from the paralysis by analysis, or at least overt analysis. Something that not only am I guilty of, but I will make it a point to no longer apologize for, but to remedy the situation among many. In this chapter, this is just somewhat of a foreword or a preface of what is expected to come. There's a great deal of events that are taking place as of now, as we speak. Some things shall revisit from the past, and even quite a few needed glimpses in the future. However, I look forward to participating in this needed journey, letting my friends, associates, future peers, and adversaries have a place to have needed discussion, address certain solutions, and actually get to the bottom of this goofy ass shit that we call the black bandosphere. In all respects, there'll be quite a few assessments among many of was once a very promising bastion of intellect, commerce, think tanks, and all the things needed to elevate the certain different demographic that has been catching the most hell. However, each opportunity I have, I will spare no expense in being forthright in not just my assessments, but doing my best to provide some homework. There has been a challenge issued about a year or so ago. is the necessity of showing your work. It is my personal assessment and belief that masculinity, true, sharpened, unedited masculinity, is about evolution, and to a certain extent, if allowed, the erosion of it. So why is this topic so important? It is important because as a black man who is living in real time in the year of 2021, I have seen what happens in the absence or the corruption of it. The implementation, of propaganda, misinformation, and worldwide support of the erosion of it. To speak on not just the symptoms of this damning disease, but those who willing to benefit from it. Also, there are things to be expected in this channel. There will be a myriad of terms, definitions, and perspectives that may be foreign to others, but for one, they'll be used to separate myself, to maintain not just a sense of independent thought, but to encourage more humor or enlightenment in a very charismatic way. However, the necessity of this channel is to not only promote interpersonal growth and health, it will also highlight the necessity, definitions, and examples of brotherhood, camaraderie, codes of conduct, leadership, all the things pertaining in promoting, sustaining, and passing on those traits and assets needed to be deemed as respectable men, and how to differentiate individuals who are in violation of such things and the consequences to follow. It's amazing how this chapter came to be, but in time, I will make every opportunity to use myself as an example, because in part, that is what leadership, at least one of the tenets, is: to lead by example. Both good, bad, and indifferent, there are many lessons to be had, learned, and exchanged amongst each other as peers who have grown sick and absolutely fucking tired of roaming the deserts in a circle. These digital deserts we call the internet. This one particular, we need to not only find and maintain a solid course forward, but get to a part where we make the proper transition from online to offline benefits and rewards. Thankfully, I am weaning myself from the need from having a word by word, line by line script. My full intent is to speak from the heart, as I am on and offline an individual who is an all or nothing type of character. If I'm all about it, I put my heart and soul and my passion into it. Otherwise, it means nothing to me. Just as I need to put in the work to do my part and give back to my peers in the community, and to pay homage to those who have helped benefit and add validity to certain spaces, and even influence the growth of others on and offline. It is also my duty to extend the roses and praises of those of the fallen soldiers, or those looking to improve from wandering their respective valleys in this thing we call society. As I leave you guys with this message with my first video, hopefully we can take our time to present not just challenges for each other, but to see the growth, the needed growth that is in dire need of, not just in certain spaces, especially what was a promising place called the Black Manosphere, which is now an internet bando or a cyber trailer park. We need to give something back to the youth that are set to follow behind us, as I for one am sick and tired of passing on a bullshit inheritance, which is a lot of debt, confusion, and dust. I'll leave with 2 words. Never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. And this message is supported by and sponsored by the following.
This is A-Game, fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
As aforementioned, gentlemen, it's time we literally get back on our A-game. The time for living substandard, spineless, cowardly lives is over. We got some work to do. So I want to send a special shout out to the masculine mercenaries and all those forward-thinking men who are hungry for solutions, progress, and results. I salute you guys. And now, we return you back to your regular bullshit standard programming.